Hola. Hello, everyone. Let's get ready for the Mimi song. And then also, too, it's the Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. Yeah. Hello, SCJ. Hello, Diane. Yeah, it's a late night. We won't be here long. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. The Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. Yeah. Now, what we're going to do first is touch on a little Diddy, and then we're going to move into Meghan, and then I'm going to let you guys go to bed or do whatever you got going on today. Hello, everyone. Come on in and have a seat. Hello, lovely SCJ. Hello, Diana. All right. Like I said, we're going to start with the Diddy, the diddler. We're going to start with Perez. Then I just want to talk about the failure of the Jamathon. Oh, wow. He's got a lot of Diddy stuff going on. I like his shirt today, too. Oh, SCJ, what's the question? Sure. It's the Mimi Show, the Mimi Show. Mimi Show, the Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. I won't keep you guys too late, okay? Okay, let's get started.
And we're back on the Diddy train. If you missed the video I posted just before this one about Hailey Bieber, watch that. Hello, my fam. It is Perez. And we're back on the Diddy train. If you missed the video I posted just before this one about Hailey Bieber, watch that. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one.
What's going on with Hailey Bieber? Totally left the building. Oh, it's only 3 minutes.
I interrupt my Diddy coverage for some huge breaking news.
Breaking news.
And first, a warning. If you are a Hailey Bieber hater, don't watch. Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and I truly believe this is one of the biggest stories of the year. This is not rumor. It's not according to a source. It has just been announced that Hailey Bieber is selling her beauty brand for big bucks. And the timing could not be any better because we know, as has been well documented, that her husband of many years, Justin Bieber, has been struggling with his finances. Rhode.
Okay, sounds like Justin Bieber is having issues with his finances, which he shouldn't. So in Capricorn Clerk's testimony, she said she went to HR about all the time she wasn't paid for. I keep wondering what HR, no specifics about company name, etc. You know, well, I think you're talking about the Diddy case, and quite normally companies, especially a company as big as P. Diddy's, should have a human resources department so that they can come and complain about any, you know, not just for complaining, but to payroll and all of that other stuff. But HR is also needed to deal with issues such as management issues, employee issues, and stuff like that. So quite naturally, he had a HR, but his word was the final say. He controlled everything. Was he wrong? Yes. Was it illegal? Yes. It's illegal to work overtime and not get paid for it. You can get fined. You can a company can get into some serious trouble for doing that. It could be sued and so on and so on. So she was more than likely capable of going to sue him, take legal action if HR was not going to help her.
Rhode was founded by Hailey Bieber in 2022.
Hold on one second. I hope I answered the question. So basically, a company such a size as Diddy should have an HR department, but you know, he makes all the decisions. So if he said he wasn't going to pay her, then he wasn't going to pay her, but she could sue him See how far she gets. It's illegal to work overtime and not get paid for it. A company could be sued. Hello, Judith. When she said she went to HR about her about not getting paid, I think it was like 80 something $1,000 that she worked overtime. She would work from 7 to 4. I think we're talking about the same person. It's not unlikely for him not to have an HR because of payroll. Who's going to pay the employees? So you have to have some form of payroll or HR to deal with these issues. But it pretty much, Puffy was HR. I hope you feel better too, SCJ. Yeah, I can see him having accounting, take care of payroll, etc. That's why I was surprised to hear HR. And yeah, agree. He, of course, had the last say. That's why I was thinking HR for what? Huh. I know. But if you have employees, there's normally you're supposed to have an HR department to help out with any irregularities that's going on in the company. But we already know the regularities was going on. Hello, Sunflower. How are you feeling tonight? We're going over a little bit of Diddy, and then we're going to jump over to Meghan.
And she has just sold it in a deal valued at $1 billion.
She sold what?
That's right. She's now a billionaire. And this is real math, okay? Let me break it down for you.
Break it.
Her company was just acquired by Elf Cosmetics for a deal that includes $600 million in cash, $200 million worth of Elf Beauty stock, and a potential of $200 million more in future payouts based on the company's growth over the next 3 years. And she's done all of this without ever going to retail. The CEO of Elf Cosmetics explains the acquisition in a statement saying the following: I've been in the consumer space 34 years, and I've been blown away by seeing this brand over time. In less than 3 years, they've gone from 0 to 212 million in net sales, direct to consumer only, with only 10 products. I didn't think that was possible. Wow. And Hailey is speaking out about this milestone accomplishment, saying, from day one, my vision for Rhode has been to make essential skincare and hybrid makeup you can use every day. Just 3 years into this journey, our partnership with Elf Beauty marks an incredible opportunity to elevate and accelerate our ability to reach more of our community with even more innovative products and widen our distribution globally. Under her direction, Rhode last year became the #1 skincare brand in earned media value. And they experienced a 367% year-over-year growth.
Good for
Congratulations.
her. Congratulations to Hailey Bailey. They are now Bieber. They are now billionaires. Good for him. Hello, highly sensitive. Oh, wow. I don't know, honey. Let's see what's going on with the Diddler.
And we're back with what is expected to be another wild day at the Sean Combs trial with potential. Up first on the stand today is an LAPD officer, Christopher Ignacio, set to testify in the federal trial against the disgraced music mogul, where he is facing trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution charges. Officer Ignacio responded to the break-in at Kid Cudi's home back in 2011 and testified that he saw an Escalade speed away as he pulled up to the house. The police officer says that he noted the license plate number and ran it. It was a car registered to Diddy's company. About 15 minutes after arriving at Kid Cudi's house, this same LAPD officer noticed the Escalade driving back slowly, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Officer Ignacio testified that he didn't pull over the Escalade because at that time there was no crime. In cross-examination, the officer testified that there were no reports made to him at the time that this was a robbery or that Kid Cudi felt his life was threatened. Both of those would be very important factors in the racketeering charges against him. And we're done with the LAPD officer and moving on to LA Fire Department investigator Lance Jimenez. A few weeks after the break-in at Kid Cudi's house, there was the arson attack on his car. Investigator Jimenez was dispatched to Cudi's home and found a Molotov cocktail in the vehicle on January 9th, 2012. That's a homemade bomb, basically.
Oh.
The investigator found a bottle and there had been gasoline in there. The LA fire investigator testified that the handkerchief that was tucked into the bottle helped to prevent a worse incident because it was a real fancy handkerchief. The firebombing would have been worse had the perpetrators used more basic materials. Jimenez determined that the homemade firebomb caused the fire. Typically, with such weapons, a bottle full of flammable liquid is stuffed with a cloth and set aflame. But Jimenez testified the designer-type handkerchief in this case was made of a silky type material that fell out of its 40-ounce Old English malt liquor bottle. As a result, the bottle didn't explode and the gasoline didn't disperse. Had the bottle broken as intended, Jimenez said the damage to the car would have been far worse and fire could have spread. And here's where things went nuclear today.
Whoa.
The prosecutor asked the LA Fire Department arson investigator if any of the items were tested for DNA. Jimenez confirmed that the bottle, cloth, and lighter were tested for DNA. He said there was a partial DNA hit on the bottle. He said he was also aware the DNA partial profile matched a female contributor.
Female?
Jimenez requested fingerprints be taken from the bottle and lighter. There were fingerprints also taken from the Porsche, but he testified he does not know the results. Why? Jimenez testified that fingerprint cards taken during the break-in from Kid Cudi's home were destroyed in August of 2012. Jimenez said there had been fingerprints taken during
Destroyed?
the break-in,
Who
but he did
destroyed
not
them?
receive the results. He claimed that 2 print cards were destroyed in August of 2012. He told the jury that
Wow.
he did not authorize the destruction, but someone from the LAPD did. The defense objected to this line of questioning, and there was a sidebar. Judge Subramanian did not believe there was any prejudice in this line of questioning by the prosecution. Diddy's defense lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, however, claimed the government suggesting that someone in the courtroom was involved in destroying evidence was outrageous. The prosecution said the defense intended to attack the integrity of the investigation. The fingerprint cards being destroyed was absolutely relevant, according to the government. The prosecution claimed there is no way to compare the fingerprints from the break-in to the arson since the break-in fingerprints were destroyed. The defense requested a few minutes to determine what remedy they will ask for. The court took a short break, and then this bombshell. Diddy's legal team today made a move for a mistrial. The defense moved for a mistrial based on prosecutorial misconduct. Diddy's defense said that the first few questions the government asked Jimenez appeared to be fine, but then the prosecution continued asking more questions about it being unusual, the fingerprints being destroyed. The judge pointed out there was no objection at the time. The defense argued it became clear what the government was doing and claimed the jury was left with the impression. Diddy's defense argued there was no reasonable basis for these questions other than to plant the idea that Combs ordered the fingerprints destroyed. That seems highly likely. Yeah. The government claimed a mistrial was unwarranted and argued there was a good faith reason for the questions. Judge Subramanian said he intends to strike Lance's testimony about the fingerprint cards being destroyed and instruct the jury not to consider it during the case. According to the prosecutors, it was appropriate to explore why certain steps were taken in the investigation. The government said the judge's instruction for the jury to disregard should be sufficient. The judge then denied the defense's application for a mistrial for the reasons stated by the prosecution, pointing out there were no objections to questions until the last 2. Diddy's defense wanted the judge to tell the jury that the government's questions were improper. However, the prosecution said the best way to correct would be to instruct the jury that nothing is to be inferred from the destruction of the fingerprint cards. Judge Subramanian decided he would tell the jury that the questions about the destruction of the fingerprint cards were irrelevant to this case and not to be considered. And it should be noted that in long federal cases like this one, requests for a mistrial are common. And we've still got much more to get through today. But first, some happy news. We need that. I told you all yesterday that Diddy's longtime ex-girlfriend, Cassie, was taken to the hospital in labor. She has just given birth. Her 3rd child with her husband, hottie Alex Fine, and their first boy. Oh, I'm so happy she got her happy ending. And this is not the ending for today. Let's discuss everything that we've learned in the comments section, and stay tuned for another video for the rest of today's witness testimony. I'll see you in a bit, but until then, I'll see you in the comments section.
Sorry.
No mistrial, but a lot of drama. We're back with more from today. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. Picking up where we left off in the federal courtroom in New York City, where the disgraced music mogul is facing charges of racketeering, trafficking, and Los Angeles fire arson investigator Lance Jimenez was on the witness stand. And as she has been for many days, Diddy's mother is in the courtroom, as are his 3 sons.
Uh-oh.
His daughters nowhere to be seen.
Hello.
Thankfully. Investigator Jimenez told the jury that he made multiple unsuccessful attempts to make contact with Cassie and Capricorn Clark, his former assistant, during the investigation in the months that followed the fire that destroyed Kid Cudi's car. The fire that Cudi alleges Diddy began after he found out that he and Cassie were in a relationship, while she and the disgusting Diddy were on a break. Jimenez said he also tried to reach Cassie through family members and no luck. And surprisingly, investigator Jimenez said that the case of the 2012 firebombing remains open.
Oh.
Hopefully, charges are eventually brought against him if they can get a guilty verdict. Jimenez said that Kid Cudi gave him several names of people to talk to after the fire. That's why he reached out to Cassie and Capricorn Clark. They were on that list. Kid Cudi is a snitch. Some might argue. I think he was just cooperating with authorities.
It's his car.
And doing his part to keep this bad, bad man off the streets. Like he did when he testified. Thank you, Cudi. This is pretty wild. The investigator says he even spoke to Cassie's father, who is a firefighter, but was still unable to speak to Cassie. And we wrapped on the LAFD investigator and moved on to Deontay Nash. He is Cassie's former stylist, worked with her for 9 years while she was with this monster, and is her friend as well. Or was her friend. Maybe still is her friend. Deontay Nash testified that he would hear Diddy call Cassie demeaning, sexist names multiple times. Combs was usually irate when he said these kinds of things, the stylist shared, and added that she would be sad, sometimes cry, sometimes go into a depression. Cassie's stylist recounted how jealous Diddy was, even sharing with the jury what happened one night when he and Cassie and Rita Ora and Adrian Bailon went to a gay club. This was around 2013. Cassie got a call from Diddy, whom Nash heard on speakerphone tell her she better bring her ass to his house. Nash told the jury today. Cassie started to panic. She just packed her stuff and went to his house. The stylist said this was one of 2 times that the Bad Boy Records founder told Cassie and him that they needed permission from him before going out. Controlling is an understatement.
Yes.
Nash testified that he did not want to be there today, but he did so because he was.
She's got to get permission to go out with her friends. Diddy, you are a piece of work, but yesterday when we watched his apology, he's talking about how shameful he was and how he was going through a bad time, and it was a bad deal, and he apologized for his mistake. And he was Just making up all these kind of excuses to say that he was sorry, but he wasn't sorry. Talking about Lord have mercy on his soul. No, you controlled her, Diddy. You took advantage of her. You used her. You abused her. You used her in any way you saw fit. Just treated her like a rag doll. And control is an understatement. She was in an abusive relationship. Cassie was being abused on every level.
Subpoenaed, he revealed that he began as an intern in the fashion department at Bad Boy before becoming a stylist. Nash said he stopped working for Diddy around 2018, the same year that he and Cassie broke up. Nash testified that on multiple occasions he heard Diddy threaten Cassie that he would beat her ass. Nash also testified, and this is very relevant, he heard Combs making other threats towards Cassie, including telling her he would not release her music and threatening to get her parents fired from their jobs. He also personally witnessed Diddy threatening.
Evil. Diddy is evil. The more we hear, the more I hear about him, the more I just feel like he's evil. Why would he threaten her parents to lose their job? He threatened to make her parents lose her job. I'm not going to release your music. And he didn't. He only released that one song. She could have been a hit. She could have had it going on. She had a beautiful voice. She's like the next Aaliyah. He stopped that growth.
To release some of these very intimate tapes, if you know what I mean. Nash said that Diddy would threaten not to release Cassie's music anytime she did something he didn't like. The stylist testified that if Diddy didn't get what he wanted, he could even get physical with him. Nash, Diddy, and Cassie all attended.
He was abusive to everyone. He was abusive to all the women. He was abusive to all the men. And he was controlling. He was an abusive person. But he, yesterday, during that freaking apology, was so fake. Talking about he was at the lowest point of his life. I was going through. No, you do this on a regular basis. This is a normal thing to you. You're a liar too. Diddy, you're a liar. Yes, that's true, Tropical Life. But I'm not down there at the court. I'm not watching them daily. So I like to get my information from Perez Hilton. He's pretty good. But my goodness, is there anybody that he wouldn't threaten? Hello, Heather from New Zealand. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Attended the Vanity Fair Oscar party in 2014, and Cassie wore her hair down, which Nash, the stylist, thought looked great. But Diddy disagreed. He picked up Nash by his jacket and demanded that Cassie's hair be put up. Nash said he quickly got some hairpins and put Ventura's hair up before Combs remarked, "I was right. It does look better up." Nash testified that Diddy had many nicknames for Cassie, calling her baby girl, Cece, Cass, Bitchslut, Ho. However, he recalls Diddy calling her a Bitch quite a bit. That was his fave, he said. Cassie previously testified herself about one time that Diddy assaulted her in 2013 as she was getting ready to go to Drake's music festival in Canada. Cassie said that Diddy threw her into a bed frame and she suffered a pretty significant gash above her left eye. The Stylist today confirmed the details and said that he tried to jump on Diddy to stop the assault, but was unable to. The Stylist said the attack did not stop until a few seconds after Diddy noticed that Cassie was bleeding. He added, "I tried to call 911. I was immediately told to hang up."
Oh.
The Stylist himself heard Diddy threaten to release these intimate tapes, and he and Cassie would talk about this. Nash told her that she should just let Diddy release the videos since he was also on them and would be affected. But Cassie then told him Diddy wasn't on the videos.
Wow.
It was Diddy taping her with other guys. She was having S to the E to the X with other men.
Well, he was still doing that though.
Cassie then...
How horrible is that? He was still watching in the corner, videotaping, so he can incriminate her. But so what if he wasn't on it? Somebody had to videotape it, so it had to be Combs. So if he had to release it, like Nash said, I would have said, well, he was in the corner, butt naked, greased up, with a mask on, videotaping me. No, I wouldn't. You're not going to blackmail me into doing what you want me to do, which could just be degrading in another level. Like if he didn't treat this woman like she wasn't anything, I don't know what to say. He never cared about Cassie. He never gave a dang about her. She was just his, hello, Dale. She was just his rag doll. Big rag doll. Agree, Letitia. I'm sure many have noticed by now that many main stands regarding various things involving humans always comes down to morality, what kind of soul a person has, if any. He didn't care. He didn't care about Cassie. He doesn't care about anyone. He treated everybody with disrespect. The disrespect, the total disrespect to everyone, to Nash grabbing him, quit grabbing people and jerking up people. You don't want nobody doing that to you, but you think you're above the law, so you can do it to others. Like Kid Cudi blowing up his car, breaking into his home. How pathetic is that?
Told the Stylist that she did not want to have relations of the intimate kind with these other men, but that she was doing it because Puff wanted her to.
Did he make her? Did he make her do it, or did he want her to do it? Which one? I think both. I say both. I say that he wanted her to do it. He made her do it. I think he blackmailed her to do it. What a delusional. Hello, Dale. Hello, Mixon. Hello, Maria. Welcome. We're just doing a little bit of Diddy. Then we're gonna run.
Deontay Nash even
We're gonna let you
testified
guys
that Diddy
go.
showed up at his home once looking for Cassie. Quote, he looked in the oven. I don't know why he looked in the oven. Afterwards, Diddy demanded that Nash drive to a hotel while he followed in hopes that Nash could get Ventura out of her room, he testified. Then, when he left the hotel, Nash said someone followed him. Oh my God. He testified that when he returned home, Nash said he discovered that his backpack, which contained cash, an iPad, and his ID, had been stolen.
By who?
What? Oh my God. And we're not done. Even more from today left to cover. I will share with you all of that in a video shortly. But until that next video today, let's talk in the comments section about everything we've.
Wow, this trial is really just about his character. Are we not talking about his character? And I think in between there's some illegal things going on. But most of all, he's just a real bad apple. Hello, Lizzie. All right, let's go to the last video.
One source for every. We're back on the Diddy train. If you missed the video I posted just before this one about Hailey Bieber, watch that. Hello, my fam. It is Perez. Is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything Diddy drama.
Diddy drama.
Catching you up on everyone who testified today in the federal trial against him, where he is facing trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution charges. I've been busy and already made 2 videos on today's developments. Watch those to be fully caught up. Where we left off, former Cassie stylist Deontay Nash was testifying. Deontay was Cassie's stylist and friend, and they would often go out, or used to. Nash testified that he was ordered by Diddy not to go out with Cassie, whom he called that bitch. And he said that Cassie only wanted to go out because Nash was going to. So he'd better keep his ears home.
Wow.
Nash testified that when he was working for Cassie, he had to send Diddy photos of her in different outfits. Quote, he would pick which one he liked, and that would be the one we went with. Very, what's more than controlling?
Controlling.
That, whatever that is. Him.
The control. The control. Like, did Cassie explain the control that he had over her? The control was on another level of, ooh-wee. Like, how could you be? Oh, there's nothing in here. He told her what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and when not to do it, when to go to the restroom, when not to go to the restroom, what to wear, what not to wear, how to wear her hair, how to wear her clothes, what clothes to wear, who she can go out with, who she couldn't go out with. Threatened her, blackmailed her, controlled her for almost 11 years. That's a long time of control. Yeah, I am interested in it, Deli. I like to hear what's going on every now and then. It does sound like a repeated time clock just going off the same time over and over and over again. But it just kind of confirms that the kind of control he had over Cassie was unexplainable. Hello, Susan. Yeah, just totally controlled her clothes, what she wear, who she talked to on the phone, where she went, where she could go, what she could do, who she could talk to, who she could be friends with, who she can go out with, what to wear, how to do your hair, wear white nail polish. Me too, Sunflower. Me too. Me too. I hope she is not in that same situation. So many ados.
Deontay testified that he once saw a lot of blood during one instance in which he alleged Diddy attacked Cassie. Deontay testified that once he, Cassie, and a Diddy employee named Mia were in Cassie's apartment. When Diddy came, he pulled her by the hair off the couch and hit her. Nash testified that after Diddy saw blood, he just panicked. He then told the stylist and Mia, this other employee of his, "Look what y'all made me do." Nash shared another encounter where he was in Cassie's apartment and Diddy came saying that he wanted to talk to her. Quote, he grabbed her as they were walking up. He grabbed her by the hair and said, "You got to get the F out of my house." Nash told the court that he tried to leave, but Diddy's security guards blocked him, preventing him from leaving, and told him to wait for Puff to come down. Later, when he and Cassie were able to leave and had driven off, Diddy called and told him to pull over. Quote, he came to the window and began to talk to Cassie, Nash testified, telling the court that Diddy told Cassie that she effed up, that he was going to put her S to the E to the X tapes on the internet. He was going to release them on schedule. He was going to start by sending them to her parents' jobs, and her brother was a bitch, and that Puff was the only one that protected her. No.
This animal, this wild animal, what we call him, a lion, tiger, bear. This animal, come on, control on another level. Yes, I agree with you, Del. I agree with you so much. How is this relevant to him going to jail? How is any of this relevant? None of it is. It's just, I feel like we're in this bad relationship with Cassie. And we're going through her life with him. The lies, the trickery, I'm going to release it. I'm going to release these photos and I'm going to release them to your brothers. Everybody's just threatening, bullying. Wow, scary stuff.
This is all classic RICO, right? Threats, blackmailing.
Blackmailing. He is blackmailing. He is blackmailing to the utmost. He is treating her like a hostage. Like a hostage. Diddy was out of his mind. But oh, he was so sorry for what he did to Cassie. I was so sorry what I did. I was just so upset with myself. There's no excuse for it. No, there is none whatsoever. I wish I had it up.
Extortion. Oh, God. When asked how many times he helped Cassie hide from Diddy, her stylist responded, too many to count. One instance that the stylist saw Diddy assault Cassie happened because he was calling her and she wouldn't answer the phone. So he hit her. He went, sought her out, and hit her for not answering the phone. BITCH, didn't I tell you to answer the phone? Nash recounted Combs saying. Nash also said that the disgraced music mogul got violent with him a few times, including once in 2013 when Cassie was shooting a music video. Combs, quote, threw.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom.
Look at this liar.
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that. But sometimes you got to do that. I was
do what?
On the darkest times in your life.
Darkest times of your life. The darkest times of your life. Listen to him talk this BS. After we just heard, he just called Cassie a BICTH and told her, didn't I tell you to answer the phone? But that was just this one time.
Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom.
He had hit rock bottom. At this moment, he was at rock bottom. Sure you were, Diddy. You was not at rock bottom because you kept hitting her day after day after day after day, moment after moment after moment after moment. You didn't care about her. You didn't care about her feelings. You didn't care about hitting her and treating her like a rag doll. You just apologizing because you got caught. You got caught with the BS. You got caught. Some of the darkest times. No, you're dark. This was not an apology. This was a bunch of BS. You are an evil person. Yes. You're scary, spooky, all of that. The things that you have done to people throughout your years. I just can't believe the trauma that he has put on several people. Several. And then he goes around making these fake apologies. This was the fakest apology ever. He gets on social media and starts this.
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
So what about all the other times?
I take full responsibility for my.
What about all the other times? How was your behavior then when you were hitting on her, cut her with the bed incident, and grabbing her, dragging her, and slapping her, giving her black eyes, bruises all over her body? But that was just that one time? How are you expect for us to believe that?
Actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help.
He's disgusted then, and he's disgusted now. Why are you disgusted now? Yep, I heard that too. Hostages. They all were hostages. That wasn't an apology. I was just a full of crap, a Doolittle. Oh wow. I have a court date. I had got my pool redid and spent a lot of money getting it redone. And then they didn't do something to the pool to make sure that the white spots were gone. Like they put the plaster in and they forgot to brush the pool. And then all of a sudden it was this big white clouds on the plaster and it looked cheap. So the head guy came out and he was like, we're gonna acid wash it. That takes away layers of your plaster. So you don't really want to get it acid washed unless you are just trying to get it smoothed out and don't want to pay for new plaster. But I paid for new plaster. I didn't pay for it to get acid washed. Anyway, they washed it and the spots were still visible, not as visible, but enough for me to be not happy with the product. The pool does look much better than it did, but no, they messed up and I wanted them to replaster it. And then it didn't even look like the color that I had chose. It looked lighter. I thought I had got a darker bluish color. Anyway, we go to court in a couple of weeks and I got my proof and all that. I got some pictures and I got some text messages where he said, the owner said that he was going to get the manufacturer out here to take a look at the plaster to see if there was something wrong with the plaster. Well, we know that wasn't true. He never came. So we are seeing what we can do. At this point, I don't want them redoing my pool. So he has 6 sex live and a little S&M. He made a lot of people a lot of money. Now let him go home. He offered 50. Is that million? 50,000? Well, I truly believe this is a domestic violence case. And the case is closed. But that's not what they're doing, Dell. He doesn't deserve to go home. It wasn't just S&M. He put his hands on Cassie, which there is proof of it, and many have seen it. That man is an abuser. Yes, but in Dell's defense, he already had a civil case with Cassie about the domestic abuse. And they settled out of court for $20 million. That makes sense.
Got to go into therapy.
Therapy.
I'm going to rehab.
He's going to rehab and therapy. The two things he's not going to do. He's going to therapy and rehab. How did that work out for you, Diddy? How did the rehab and the rehabilitation and the therapy sessions and all that work out? Did you stop getting her? Did you come to yourself and say, wow, this is some really messed up stuff that I'm doing to her. Maybe I need to back up off of her. No? I'm going to say this real quick. Meghan has failed. Her jamathon has failed. And she tried to say that it failed in a nice roundabout way, that she's going to do other endeavors and try something new. No, you failed. You made a product that didn't nobody like or want. And now you're trying to convince us that you want to do something new. It's if you have all these great, wonderful ideas in your head and in your mind that you just, that just has to come out. I got all these great ideas that I want to do and all these money-making schemes. These are schema-demies. Schemy-deemy schemes. Now she's talking about, I'm going to move on. I want to do something new. I want to try something. I want to go into other things. What? What new thing are you going to do that's going to get you out of the situation that you're so-called in? Back to Diddy. Listen to this pathetic apology.
Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
Now, who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores.
The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day.
Yes! Yes! Hello, we're here with the winner. Yes!
Reference actions that seem to match those seen in this video.
Yeah, I guess this means more money, more problems for you.
Yeah, I guess so. More money, more problems.
According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room.
10 years from now, we'll still be on top.
The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway.
Now, what you gonna do when it's cool? I got money much longer than yours, and a team much stronger than yours.
The complaint says as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura.
Valet me, this a BOJ. We don't play, mess around with DOA. On your way.
He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her. According to Ventura's now settled lawsuit, the pair began dating several years after they met in 2005. They parted ways in 2019. Combs' attorney said the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Ventura declined to comment on the video, but her attorney told CNN the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Miss Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. The video hasn't been seen publicly before and comes on the heels of a series of civil lawsuits alleging Combs' involvement in sex trafficking and sexual abuse. Allegations Combs has repeatedly denied. In a December 2023 statement, Combs responded to the claims in all the lawsuits, saying, "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged." CNN has reached out to representatives for Combs for comment.
Now, this was before the video came out. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a great night.
Angry? The stylist testified that Kim Porter's baby daddy was upset that Nash and Cassie had gone out and Wilden. Nash testified that during those instances that he would help Cassie hide, they would often stay in hotels, and Diddy, quote, would blow everyone's phones up and threaten everybody.
Wow.
Seems hella guilty to me. Nash testified to the jury today that he saw Diddy slap Cassie across the face once in 2015. He said they were with a few other people in a parking lot outside a music studio. Nash also testified that he observed bruises on Cassie, quote, quite often. This witch, oh, charges better be brought against her. Nash says that he did not report the violence he witnessed against Cassie or that he experienced himself. He did not report it to the police because he feared retaliation from Diddy. But Nash testified that he did speak to Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Coram, about the issue. Coram promised to speak to Diddy, Nash said, but the violence did not stop. Christina Coram was an enabler, complicit, and needs to be brought to justice.
Wow.
His chief of staff and henchwoman. Cassie regularly confided in her stylist that she did not want to be participating in these freak-offs, but she would go and do them anyways. The prosecution is painting a very clear picture here of coercion. The stylist said that he and Cassie were frequently in the studio together, so much that they once decorated it and slept there regularly while she recorded new songs. When asked by the government how much of that Diddy would allow to be released, Nash estimated that it was about 10% as a generous estimate.
Wow.
Nash recalled this one time at Cassie's birthday party where she just wanted to celebrate, but Diddy was forcing her to go to a freak-off instead.
Right.
Interestingly, like many of his former employees, Nash testified that he and Diddy have kept in touch through text and phone calls, and that the tone of the messages has been loving. Questioned how he could maintain a relationship with a man who assaulted him and his friend, the stylist said, I don't hate him.
Right.
It's just not in me.
Wow.
One time, Diddy forced Nash to go get Cassie where she was hiding in a hotel, and he testified that he found Cassie in a room and she was going to climb over the balcony after learning that Diddy was in the lobby because she was so afraid of him. The stylist testified he would often keep cash on hand for hotel rooms because he didn't want Puff to find me. The stylist said he last spoke to Cassie yesterday to congratulate her on her new baby. He also testified that he has no plans to sue Diddy in civil court and has not sent any demand letter for money. Nash also testified that Combs did not approve the looks for other bad boy artists, only Cassie. And the court ran out of time with Deontay Nash, who will be back tomorrow. We will wrap up with him, and then we will hear from Mia, another former employee of Diddy's and victim of his abuse, according to prosecutors.
Oh,
Perhaps one of my favorite developments from today. At one point, Brian Steele, one of the defense lawyers, was seen falling asleep during testimony. And things ended today with the lead defense attorney, Mark Agnifilo, pleading with the judge for increased access to Diddy, who is being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Currently, the defense team only has access to him until 7 p.m., forcing them to make decisions without him. Trial usually wraps up every day around 3. This isn't really right, Agnifilo told the judge. We'll see if they're granted more time with Diddy. Prosecutors say they are ahead of schedule and hope to rest their case by the second week of June. Still on track to end by 4th of July. And that is it for today. We've covered a lot. Let's discuss everything in the comments section.
oh my God, that's my daughter's birthday. Ooh, we gotta get some stuff done. Okay, let's move on to Meghan. Now, this girl has decided that she doesn't want to do the scamma jam anymore. How do you stop doing the scamma jam? I don't. Let's see. Here we go. Oh,
launch of the century. It was going to change the world of retail. But just 8 weeks on, and Meghan Markle calls time on her jam-making empire. In a devastating interview with a magazine called Fast Company, she's admitted that she may never restock the famous honey, jam, and flour sprinkles, which were available on her website for 45 minutes 2 months ago.
this is hilarious. She has really hit rock bottom selling jams and sprinkles. Who does that? You are a royal. You are royalty. You were royalty. You were on the balcony. You had it going on. You had the crown. You had a wedding in the street, girl. Like, you had it going on. You were meeting dignitaries and all these famous people. And then you met the Queen of England. Like, no. Screw that. Now the Queen of England was part of you now. You are part of this dynasty of a family. And look what you have become. You have become a failure. I said this day would come. I said this day is coming, and it's coming soon. I said it's not going to work out the way she thinks it's going to work out. It's not going to go the way she wants it to go. She's not going to be the successful boom, boom, bang. Here I am. Everybody love me. I'm a billionaire now. Like, she is not going to be able to sell us on anything that makes her successful. But the problem is, if you're not liked by the industry, liked by people, liked by a country, then it's going to be even more difficult for you to make anything be successful. She's not relatable. She can't relate to anyone. She is so unrelatable. It's like talking to a wall because nothing's going in, nothing's sticking. She's not really barely paying attention to you. She's not listening to you. She could care less about what you're talking about. So what? Let's move on. It's about me. And now she has created this 2025, boom, I'm going to be the successful person in 2025. Lemonado, boom. Instagram, boom. As ever, boom. Jamathon, boom. Sprinkles, boom. And everything is collapsing at once because Lemonado is not doing well at all. No, I don't have on makeup today. Like, none whatsoever. Just lip gloss. But, yeah. You just launched it. Didn't she just go on Drew Barrymore's channel pretending like she had just became the founder of something? I thought the whole Lemonado thing was all about her being successful with the Jamathon. What is her business if it's not the jam? It's the show? Is it the show with the tips and the balloons and the crunchy flowers? It's embarrassing. If I was Catherine, I would be embarrassed for Meghan. I would be like, oh gosh, she's so embarrassing. Yeah, what is your sister-in-law doing today, Catherine? Well, she's running around making Jam a scam. And now she didn't quit. So that's over. It was going on, but it's not anymore. That's right, Tropical. Cassie was only pleasurable entertainment and eye candy for him. The trial I was on ending in a huge jury, so that means an automatic retrial unless they settle. Yeah, this isn't a slam dunk case to me. Just a lot of sexual stuff going on and a lot of abuse. No more jam. The scammer jam has gone. It's gone. But she told us in her Instagram that the jam was her jam. Remember? Should we refresh our memories? My jam is my jam. Oh, that's my friend. Jam is my jam. Let's go back to the beginning, Meghan. Let's go back to the beginning where you were lying. Yep. The beginning, how you were going to become the female founder.
Cat's out of the bag. I'm shocked we've kept this a secret for so long. In 2 weeks, my show is coming out, which I'm so excited for. And also
Her
my
show,
business, which I think there's been a lot of curiosity about.
Look at this. Look how she's bragging on herself, patting herself on the back and telling us how great she is and how wonderful she is and how successful she is. And the cat's out the bag now. No, the cat's always been out the bag. She keeps bringing the cat out the bag before the cat is ready to come out. this Jamathon thing was a failure, and now she's trying to pretend that it was successful because it sold out. No, honey. When you sell out a product, you continue to make more and then capitalize on that so you can get a return on it. But no return for you. A cheesy show about tips and nippy doos that everybody already know. Nothing new. Hello, Athena. You missed the Diddy part. When she's hovering the voice, the fuse, she tells him he intelligent. We saw that in Nigeria. He only has to recognize one liar, then the door will crack open. Hey, Rocky Doolittle. Hello, has anybody heard of the lady that got burned with that bath stuff that Meghan Markle sent her? She is suing for $10 million. Okay, so Athena, basically what happened with that was there was this recipe on Meghan's as ever situation. And the lady made it and she burned her legs all over the place. Now, I heard that she was going to sue for $10 million. That is still ongoing as far as I am concerned. But interesting. Listen to this. Let's listen to how she gets on here. Hello, Lizzie. She gets on here and starts bragging about herself and talking about all her businesses and as ever in the jam and all this stuff that she's coming out doing now because the cat's out the bag. Remember when she wrote 2025 in the sand? Should I show it? Should we go back to the beginning? Yep, I do.
Really gonna do it in 2025, y'all. Here I come. Relaunch. Here it is. Thank you. What you doing? How are you great? I'm in here. What's gonna go down? I'm like, oh, you're runs off.
She runs off like a chicken. Oh, well, let's get back to I'm a winner. I'm a winner.
It's recording.
Okay. Cat's out of the bag.
Some of you may have heard whispers about I've been creating. In 2 weeks, my series on Netflix launches, but there's something else I've been working on. I'm thrilled to introduce you to As Ever, a brand that I created and have poured my heart into. As Ever means as it always been, or some even say in the same way as always. If you follow along since my days of creating the TIG, there she go talking about the Tiggy Doo, you'll know this couldn't be truer for me. This new chapter is an extension of what has always been my love language, beautifully woven together everything I cherish: food, gardening, entertaining, thoughtful living, and finding joy in every day. I will keep sharing behind the scenes tidbits with you here as we ramp up to launch. And I can't wait for you to get your hands on everything we've been creating, sending lots of love. To who, Megan? No one's getting the Jamma scam. You didn't make enough. 2, you're not making any more until 2026. What the heck is going on? I thought you were coming out with some jam scam.
I'm shocked we've kept this a secret for so long. In 2 weeks, my show is coming out, which I'm so excited for.
Her
and
show?
Also my business, which I think there's been a lot of curiosity about. Last year, I had thought, you know what, American Riviera, that sounds like such a great name. It's my neighborhood. It's a nickname for Santa Barbara. But it limited me to things that were just manufactured and grown in this area. Then Netflix came on, not just as my partner in the show, but as my partner in my business, which was huge. So I thought about it, and I've been waiting for a moment to share a name that I've secured in 2022. And this is the moment. And it's called As Ever. As Ever essentially means as it's always been. And if you followed me since 2014 with the TIG, you know I've always loved cooking and crafting and gardening. This is what I do. And I haven't been able to share it with you in the same way for the past few years, but now I can. So as things are starting to trickle out there, I wanted you to hear it from me first.
Who is she talking to? Who is she talking to? Who is your audience, honey? Honey chickadoo? Honey chickadoo. Who is your audience? The beige clothing. What about that? Sunflower. She really thinks people care about what she does. LOL. We are annoyed at everything she does. She thinks who is she talking to? Who is she talking to, Marie? Like the Sussex Squad? Are you talking to the Sussex Squad, Megan? Are you talking to us? Somebody came on earlier and told me to mind my own business and let Megan live her life the way she wants to live it and da 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 da. I am not the one out here with the Instagram post. I'm not out here with this talking about as ever, as it always was, as it always will be in the TIG. This is her bringing this stuff back up after decades and decades of talking about it. The TIG, the suits. And when she was 11, she wrote to the soap company. I mean, everybody knows everything about her resume. I know it. I could write her resume for her. But she's sitting on here talking about how she had this planned and Riviera. SCJ, can you slow down the chat, please? Thank you. Yeah, she shows us tidbits every day, how to elevate, you know, so we can be elevated. Yeah. No, she's not even doing it. But I want to hear her talk about the Jamma Jam. I think the Diddy would still be doing the same thing if Cassie hadn't filed. Oh, yes. He was about to do one right before they picked him up. He had all the stuff ready to go and was going to do it one more time before they picked him up. But I also think that the FBI was already investigating her suit, and rapid settlement propelled the FBI investigation. I don't understand how her and Combs, Cassie and Combs, didn't get together and come up with an agreement to settle this out of court. Because some kind of way we found out. But I'm with you too, Tropical. I think they've been investigating him too, because once you do something wrong by the law, you're like dinged. Like you're like, okay, I'm watching you now. I see you. Like I see you. You've been in court before. You've been here before. You've been accused of some stuff. No, he's not sorry. No sympathy. She's talking to the tally marks on her cell wall. Oh, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, guys. Thank you. And don't forget about the super chats and super stickers. Those are always lovely to have. Thank you. Catherine asks, all of the ladies wear light pastel to Lewis's christening, and Meghan showed up in an olive green. From then on, Meghan wore light natural colors. Yeah, she's an idiot. Please hit the like button. Let's hear her talk about herself some more.
Of course, there will be fruit preserves. I think we're all clear at this point that jam is my jam. But there's so many more products that I just love that I use in my.
You heard her. You just heard what she said. She said the jam is my jam. The jam is my jam. We all know that the jam is my jam. So if the jam is your jam, then where the jam going? Because we heard that you're no longer doing the jam and you won't have that stocked until 2026. That's that stupid stuff. He had everything. Yes, she did. Well, when they got her case, they saw all kinds of stuff. They said, wait a minute. Oh, William did say something to Meghan about her dress that day. You have to see the photo of Louis christening to see how Meghan stood out. I do remember the green. Not surprised. Oh, I'm going to use the gong. Yes, yes, yes. I want to thank Susan for my super chat. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, sweet Susan. I really appreciate the love and the support. It goes a long way. Thank you. Let's put some hearts in the chat for our Susan. For my super sticker and super chat. Kisses to you, Susan. Thank you, lovely. Yeah, she's sitting over here talking about herself. Partners, the jam is my jam. And I'm as ever, and I'm going to be a founder, and Netflix is going to still be my partner. And I'm going to really do some launching this year. This is the launch of my new show, As Ever. And I'm going to be showing you guys some tips and bits along the way. This is stuff that I love to do, that I've always loved to do.
My home, and now it's time to share it with you. So I can't wait for you to see it. Thanks, guys.
See, talking about sharing.
Okay. Cat's out of the bag.
Who is she talking to? I can't wait to share it with you guys. And then let's just put the icing on the cake. You're going to share it with us to just take it away just like that. What if I wanted to buy some jam? I can't buy it now because you have closed the business as quickly as you started the business. The business is now over. You started the business, okay? And then you quit the business all in a couple of weeks. How is that possible? Why even start it? Why even go through the pain and agony of getting raspberries? Because it was a hobby? You said it was hard work, a lot going on. Thank you, Susan. She is no longer doing it. She wants to bring it back in about 10 months. And one girl said that it looked like awful to say it, but it looks like menstrual watery jam. It's a watery mess. She don't know what the hell she's doing. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. No, how you gonna bring me some jam back in 2026? I didn't forgot about the dang on jam. I didn't moved on. I didn't had 2 or 3 bottles by then from my own refrigerator. I showed you my jam, guys. I made a toast and showed you how thick it was. Tomorrow is day 12 of witness testimony. Ooh, thanks for letting me know so I can put that in my title. Please like, share, and subscribe. It all helps Letitia's channel. Yes, it does. Thank you so much, SEJ. Okay, one more time. Let's just hear her brag about herself one more time.
I'm shocked we've kept this a secret for so long. In 2 weeks, my show is coming out, which I'm so excited for. And also my business, which I think there's been a lot of curiosity about. Last year, I had thought, you know what, American Riviera, that sounds like such a great name. It's my neighborhood. It's a nickname for Santa Barbara. But it limited me to things that were just manufactured and grown in this area. Then Netflix came on, not just as my partner in the show, but as my partner in my business, which was huge. So I thought about it. And I've been waiting for a moment to share a name that I had secured in 2022. And this is the moment. And it's called As Ever. As Ever essentially means as it's always been. And if you followed me since 2014.
She hasn't secured this since 2022. She had Riviera Orchard at the time. She's still stuck with that. She thinks we're stupid. Just tell the truth. You couldn't use the name. Someone else had it. It limited me. No, you don't want to tell the truth. You don't want people to know that you couldn't use that name, Riviera Orchard. You had to pick a new one. And how embarrassing for you to have to pick a new one after you didn't get the first one patent. And you still haven't gotten this one trademarked. And you can't sell clothes, little lady. You can't sell clothes because someone else owns As Ever, the clothing line.
With the TIG, you know, I've always loved cooking and crafting and gardening. This is what I do. And I haven't been able to share it with you in the same way for the past few years, but now I can. So as things are starting to trickle out there, I wanted you to hear it from me first. Of course, there will be fruit preserves. I think we're all clear at this point that jam is my jam. But there's
Of course, there'll be fruit preserves. Everybody knows that jam is my jam. Where's the jam? Where did the jam go? Where's the jam? The jam has left the building. She done went from being a royal to making some jamma scam. Some jamma scam. How do you go from being a wannabe princess to the jamma scam girl? You making jam and now you didn't quit. I don't want to do it anymore. It's like, that's what you do. You start things and then you quit them. Like you started the 40 by 40, you quit that. But you didn't tell us that you quit. You just quit it. We were going to get 40 celebrities to talk to 40 ordinary women about going back to work after the COVID. It was stupid. Just sitting at home with nothing to do, making up stuff. Making up stuff. I am just beside myself that the scamma jam is over. Like Dictator said, it was really a scam. Like, I cannot believe it's over that fast. Like, you were just launching your 2025 in the sand. Then you just talked about how jam is your jam. And it's pretty much over. Because you want to do something different. You want to spread your wings. You don't want to just be stuck doing one thing. That's what she said about being in the royal family. I didn't want to be stuck and just doing the same thing, just living and not having my own life. You were living. You did have a new life. You had an adventure. And you treated it like it was nothing. You had it all, girl. Didn't we almost have it all? Didn't we almost have it all? That's what she's gonna be singing. Didn't we almost have?
There's so many more products that I just love that I use in my home. And now it's time to share it with you. So I can't wait for you to see it. Thanks, guys.
It's recording.
Okay. Cat's out of the bag. I'm shocked we've kept this a secret for so long. In 2 weeks, my show is coming out, which I'm so excited for. And also my business, which I think there's been a lot of curiosity about. Last year, I had thought, you know what, American Riviera, that sounds like such a great name. It's my neighborhood. It's a nickname for Santa Barbara. But it limited me to things that were just manufactured and grown in this area. Then Netflix came on, not just as my partner in the show, but as my partner in my business, which was huge. I thought about it, and I've been waiting for a moment to share a name that I had secured in 2022, and this is the moment. And it's called As Ever. As Ever essentially means as it's always been.
As it's always
and if
been.
you followed me since 2014 with the TIG, you know I've always loved cooking and crafting and gardening. This is what I do. And I haven't been able to share it with you in the same way for the past few years, but now I can. So as things are starting to trickle out there, I wanted you to hear it from me first. Of course, there will be fruit preserves. I think we're all clear at this point that jam is my jam. But there's so many more products that I just love that I use in my home. And now it's time to share it with you. So I can't wait for you to see it. Thanks, guys.
It's recording.
Okay. Cat's out of the bag. I'm shocked we've kept this a secret for so long.
And then check this out. Check this out. We're launching. Let's go. Remember all that? Look at the dog and the onion. Right here. Look at this. Oh, get ready for the jam. Look, we're getting ready. Look at all these shelves. Look at all the jam sold out. Yeah, Shirley. How come she can't just whip up another batch? They out of berries? Yeah, she did. Threw it away. I said, where is you going? Why is you coming back here? There is nothing here. Like, what an idiot. She had a chance at a whole new world. A whole new world. My jam is my jam. Yeah, that's why she can't stick to this. This is too hard. And then it's not returning any money. When did she was going to figure that out, that she wasn't going to get a big return from the jam scam? I think she realized that where's the profit? She spent more time and more effort on getting these jamathons that the cost out, the cost she couldn't justify the cost for these jams and the sprinkles. Yeah. I'm still awake. Hello, be happy. SCJ, you can put it on regular. This is crazy. Now it's gone. As ever, all these bottles of jam have disappeared. How come they can't do exactly what they're doing right here to make some more? But they're not going to make any more until 2026. And then you might not even be getting a raspberry jam. Ain't no telling what kind of jam you're going to be getting. Okay, let's move on from the jamathon.
Out, you and I know the truth. About 11 jars of jam were sold. The whole thing is a sham. 2 months
11 jars.
Meghan has already pulled the plug on the project. It demonstrates what this show revealed weeks ago.
Already pulled the plug on her jam that she just put out a couple of weeks ago. Look at her. I wouldn't be surprised if Saturday Night Live says something Saturday about this.
That as ever, which is what she's called this company, is complete nonsense. It's just a PR move. It's got no substance whatsoever. In fact, it's a gigantic con trick. And her investors and handful of customers have been had. Now, this is such an embarrassing U-turn for the Duchess, which fits a long pattern.
This is an embarrassment. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassment. She's not going to just her, then we're going to pretend like that we didn't just see what just happened to her jamathon. She made a big deal out of this jam, sending jam to celebrities' homes and having them open it and take a look at it and smell it and eat it. And then you get this little 7-ounce bottle of jam coming to you for $14. Like they said, it was overpriced, but you were buying the oh my goodness gracious. This is so bad. It is so bad. What did she thought she was going to do? Become a millionaire over the jam that people were, and then she doesn't have enough? What are you doing? Who are you fooling? Why does I feel like this was a trick? Was this a PR move for her? This was a PR move for her. Let's scam on the jam and pretend. Let's pretend it's sold out. Let's pretend that I've made it all. Let's pretend that it's organic. Let's pretend all this stuff. Hello, Janet. Probably made people sick. It was watery. Yeah, go to Winn-Dixie, get your jam there. Or Kroger's or Walmart. Fake-a-do. Just what the hell was the purpose of the jam if you wasn't going to sell it and stay with it and keep it? It's like starting something and not finishing it. She has a hard time finishing a project. How you know it's not going to be successful if you don't let it be out there long enough? Well, they did taste the jam. Did you not let your mom taste the jam? It was stated there were no expiration date, no nutritions being shown or calories or anything of such. Many channels had brought that to many people's attention. Did Brittany bring that to our attention, Athena? Because I remember me and Paula going over that, how there's no expiration date on the jam. How are you not going to tell me when to throw this away? It just lives forever. I wouldn't be surprised if it started turning like 2 days after you ordered it. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She's not Martha Stewart. She just jumped out of here with this cooking show and then started spreading that red gook, red slop on everything that she was making in this show, trying to advertise it. Then she advertises it to the bone. And then she has 8 bottles to sell, like he said, 11 bottles to sell. And then they're sold out. It sold out in less than 45 minutes. No, it didn't. It sold out. Could nobody even order it? That's how quickly it wasn't none left. I don't think that there was any on there. I just don't, for some reason, I think she's trying to send these things out as gifts so that, because there's no expiration, there's no nutrition, there's nothing on the bottle. That's the first thing I would have checked. She's trying to send it as a gift. Rest in peace to the Jamathon. She likes the idea of the process, but can't follow through with work. Right. She just wants the glam and the glitz and the oh, let me get on Drew Barrymore's channel and make something for her in her kitchen. It's just stupid. Let me advertise myself here. Let me advertise myself there. So she was everywhere, but still nowhere. Yes. Oh, yeah, Letitia and Vogue put Harry and Meghan on their power couple list. That's a joke. They are not a power couple. Did they not realize, did Vogue not realize that they're professionally separated? Moldy Jam. Yep. She doesn't know what she's doing from 1 minute to the next. She don't. Now all of a sudden she wants to do something new. She doesn't want to do jam anymore. Finish the project. Finish it. At least finish it. It's so embarrassing, like this gentleman is saying.
Of Meghan's business failures, erratic behavior, and diabolical lack of
business failures. Then she's talking to these women on Lemonado like she's successful just like them, like she's a billionaire. I'm gonna say it again. Meghan is on Lemonado like she's a billionaire, like the rest of the women are. And she's not listening to them. She's not listening to them as they tell her really how they became successful. They use their brain, something that she doesn't really use that much. My point is that this jam did not make her the billionaire that she thought she was going to be. Raspberry isn't a lot of product. I know. Janet, that's not a lot of product. Even when you buy it at the store, they have these little packages. It was made in 45 minutes. Yep, no, they said that. I don't either. I feel like she didn't. I don't know how Brittany got hers. And did she have all this information on there? Like the expiration date? People don't talk about them around here. Here either. I am the only one in my family that talks about her. I'm the only one in my area that talks about her. I am the only person that talks about Meghan. She is not on people's list of famous people to want to admire or even care for. Like, she doesn't have what it takes to be that woman. You know, pick someone in your head that you like, that is a female that you somewhat admire or like. You know, like I like Whitney Houston. I love her beautiful voice. I would have loved to have had the opportunity to meet her. But Meghan's not on that list of people that I want to meet because she's so self-centered and selfish and all about herself. And so pretty much it wouldn't be about us. It would be about her. So it would be a boring conversation. Yeah. Honey, she had this honey spread thing that she made, and she said that they've sold out of that. They don't know if they're going to get the same brand, so you just be looking for something totally different. Well, I ordered the honey dewdrop stuff, Megan, you were selling. And now you're telling me that I won't get this product because you didn't sold out and you don't know if it'll be something special, but it won't be this. She said that. The limited edition. Megan who? No, she does not know what she's doing. They know there's no way I would buy anything that she would sell. Don't know what you might get. I know, you don't. You don't know what's inside of it because there's not any labels on there or whatever. Just like that lady that got burnt. No warning label, nothing. What, something happened? That sounds about right, by sending it as a gift by not putting anything on it. Yeah, that's what Paula was saying. Like, that's how she worded it. She said, I'm going to send you send it back to you and as a gift. Yep. Paula be having some good information. She just goes so fast with it. And then she's got great information. And then she's on to the next thing. I'm like, wow, Paula, I would have stayed on that one for a week because she proved that Meghan had to have certain things on this bottle in order to be approved by FDA regulations. She could be sued. Yeah, that is a roadside product. It is, Jam. Look at her. Look at her. She's supposed to be royalty. Now she's trying to make a profit off a Jam scam.
Expertise in a whole range of fields. So with this shocking news, it's clear that Meghan Markle has anything but the Midas touch. Everything she touches doesn't turn to gold, does it? It turns to mud, or should I say, rather disgusting jam. So Meghan has said, I want to step back, gather data from the launch. And
look at those cookies. Let me make it bigger. Look at those cookies. It's shortbread cookie mix. That does not look like cookies. And what about the crepes? The other journalist said he bought the shortbread cookies and was going to take them home and make them, but they don't look good. They look like they would just be floury. Now the crepes I may make. Try that one. Yeah, he is hilarious. I like him, Susan.
And figure out exactly what as ever could be. This is total chaos. In fact, this is far worse than I might have predicted this venture would go. First of all, I want to step back. Who steps back after 2 months? And after we were told that the brand is such a success that they'd sold out in seconds, which we know was a ploy. That's a marketing trick. You have a tiny inventory, a small number of products, and then you go, oops, we've...
Yeah. Couple of months in, you just launched 2 months ago, your baby, the thing that you have been playing around with, sending out to celebrities every week and wanting them to showcase your jam. And then 2 months later, you launch it, and then 2 months later, it's over. You want to expand. You want to do something different. Finish what you started. Finish the Jamathon. I don't know. There's still some people out there that haven't gotten their jam, Meghan. That is really, really weird. Did you hear that she's extremely jealous now of Lawrence Sanchez because she is engaged to the billionaire and everything that Meghan Markle wants but cannot have? Of course she's jealous. Yeah, she's trying to be her own billionaire. She's trying her best. She thought the jam was going to do it. The jam is her jam. Preserves. They look small and hard. You'll lose your teeth. They look weird. Doesn't look like shortbread cookies. They look, like Susan said, hard and crunchy. Papa Crown. Just lose a tooth. Oh boy. It's hilarious. Maybe she'll buy a sprinkler bra too, a sparkling bra too. Yes. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. I just want to get something to drink. My throat is dry. I told my husband, I said, you need to have a talk with Kara, a serious conversation. I said, you need to have a talk with Kara because she won't let me comb her hair. She won't let me comb her hair. She won't. That's the biggest thing right there. She won't let me comb her hair. Today, she gave me 5 minutes. Then it ended up being 1 minute. And then I had to stop. So I'm going to try to comb it every day, like get into a habit of saying, come on, mommy's got to comb your hair now. It's comb hair time. That way she'll get used to me messing with it. Because right now, she's like, don't touch it. She went to the beauty shop. She let them just get all in it. Woo! All right.
You've completely sold out, which is deeply dishonest, but that is Meghan
Deeply
Markle's
dishonest.
behavior. That's in character. I think you'll agree. So she wants to step back after 2 months. Well, I mean, that is just a crush.
She lied. She lied and said that they sold out. Like she had all this product to sell. And I just think it's a big bunch of BS. I don't believe, like he said, that she had all this product to sell and sold out in 45 minutes. I believe she was playing with the on and off switch and then just kept playing with it, had a few people order, and then turned it off. We're out of order. We're out of product.
Failure. She wants to gather data from the launch. What does that mean? Gather.
She wants to gather data from the launch. What does that mean? It means a bunch of hogwash. You can gather, listen, the data is telling you, you got nothing. You got nothing in return. You didn't get this big return from selling this jam. If anything, you're in the hole. You can easily be able to figure that out. She's going to assess the data. What data? Like she had some big corporation and they got to bring a team in to assess the data and how everything went for some jam. She spent more time on things that are not important. And that's what kills her right there. Getting lids and tops that she shouldn't be getting to put on some jam. Yeah, I got some detangler spray that I spray on it daily. I got to use it daily. Yeah, she's doing something stupid. Bake bread next. I don't know. Maybe cake. Maybe decorate cakes. Maybe be a cake maker. I don't know. What's her next adventure? Next deploy. Next launch. Next failure. This is what I do know, and I know it to be true. That there is no way that I would have left the UK over here making some jam and being on Instagram and talking about I'm a female founder of a Lemonado. No, I would not be doing this crapola. Trying to sound important and feel important. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur now. I'm an entrepreneur. Quit labeling yourself. She loves those labels. Philanthropist and a influencer. She's none of those things. She is none of those things. Yeah, she could sell silicone dolls. I would rather go to Walmart and go buy the generic brand Taste. Much better. Raspberry jam, strawberry jam, apricot jam. They taste great on toast bread. They do. Yummy, yummy, yummy to the tummy. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about making me one when I leave here. How are you going to start a business in 2 months, launch it, and then shut it down? And say, oh, by the way, I want to do other things now. Forget the people that I owe money to. Forget the people that I owe jam to. Forget the people that was waiting on it. They'll get it in 2026. She needs to refund these people money. That's what's going to end up happening. She's going to end up refunding everybody's money, and then they're going to just move on from the scam. Because it makes no sense that she did this big launch-a-do. She did this big launch-a-do. Launch-a-do. And look what it ended up being. Not a big launch-a-do at all. A very messed up launch. She launches 2 months ago and no more jam. No more scamma jam. Where's the jam? Catherine should tell her to shut up and sit down. Great value, Athena. Yeah, at Walmart, great value. Jive. I love it when Kurt Russell told H to go home and pick raspberries for his wife's raspberry soup. He said that at the Aviation Awards. He stormed off in a huff. How funny. Let's see, Kurt Russell. Raspberry soup. Kurt Russell tells Harry to help Meghan with her raspberries. Oh, where did it go? Where did it go?
And not in a way that'll be winning him any sympathy points. The Living Legends of Aviation event at the Beverly Hilton Hotel on April 25th was supposed to be a night for celebrating greatness, innovation, and, sources say he sat there frozen for a good 3 seconds, blinking like a deer in the world's most awkward headlights, before he grabbed his things and made a beeline for the nearest exit. No goodbye, no smile, no stiff upper lip royal act. Just pure, unfiltered exit stage left. Now let's unpack the sheer brutality of Kurt's line for a second. First of all, the raspberry soup jab wasn't random. It was a direct, almost surgical attack on everything Harry's become in recent years.
Yep.
The guy who gave up royal duty to become a full-time stay-at-home sidekick for Meghan's endless brand-building escapades. He's gone from captain in the British Army to, essentially,
escapades. Who is this guy? He's good. Building a brand escapade. It's an escapade. It's an endless escapade. It's a me thing. It's just me all the time. Me, an escapade. When Hollywood royalty tells you to check your woman, it's bad. He was. He got whooped. He got a whooping. Wow. He said he went in, go home and help your wife with them raspberries. Number one, you don't have a job anymore. And y'all you is your wife's flunky. And that's all you will ever be. You're just actually at a situation, Harry, that puts you not in the best of handsomeness men. Like, she took your handsomeness away. You used to have it going on, but no. Yep. No reason to go to Netflix store in the Galleria Mall now. Me and Sunflower were thinking about we're going to go to the Galleria Mall up here in Dallas and go and pick up her jam at the store and do like a little opening. But that's over with because she's decided that the scamma jam is done. I'm done with the scamma jam. She's made a fool out of herself. Raspberry jam, the new baby oil. Wine is next. Oh, she's losing it. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Professional handholder and emotional support husband. Not exactly the aviation legend resume the night was supposed to be honoring, right? And Kurt didn't even call him Prince Harry. Nope, just living legend Harry. If sarcasm could fly, that one line would have broken the sound barrier. And honestly, the man's not wrong. Let's remember, Harry failed his pilot's exam 3 times. 3. The only flying he's done lately is on private.
I'm sorry. Ain't no more?
I didn't see one in her bag.
Oh, wow. Did you throw everything out over there?
That is kind of, yeah.
Okay.
It's nothing wrong.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. Listen to the gentleman until I get back.
Jets he pretends to be ashamed of. He's more qualified to operate a rascal scooter than a plane at this point. But here he was, hobnobbing at a Living Legends event like he's Amelia Earhart's long-lost heir. Kurt, a guy who's actually logged thousands of real pilot hours, wasn't about to let that slide. You have to love the poetic beauty of it. A real legend, casually, effortlessly, reminding a wannabe legend that no matter how many Oprah interviews you do, respect isn't handed out, it's earned. And the fallout didn't stop there. Reports say John Travolta, actual Hollywood royalty, licensed pilot, and overall decent human being, was visibly uncomfortable even being near Harry that night. There's some history there. Last year, Harry allegedly threw shade at Travolta, implying he was still riding the coattails of his famous dance with Princess Diana decades ago, because you know Harry's an expert on moving on and not clinging to the past. The irony is so thick you could spread it on toast. Travolta didn't say anything this year, but body language says more than words ever could, avoiding eye contact, polite, tight-lipped smiles. The vibe was colder than the Arctic Circle. Meanwhile, the rest of the room, once Harry made his grand escape, reportedly loosened up immediately. People laughed louder. Toasts were made. Actual legends got their well-deserved spotlight without worrying about the latest headline chasing royals sucking up all the oxygen. One attendee described the post-Harry vibe as night and day, like a cloud had lifted. Another joked it felt like the adults could finally talk now that the kids had left the table. It's savage, but can you blame them? Harry's been dining out on the same tired poor me narrative for years now. The oppressed prince, the misunderstood husband, the noble victim. At some point, people get tired of the act, especially when you're standing next to people who've, actually done something, like break aviation records, rescue people mid-air, and redefine industries. And let's not forget, Harry's been living the good life in Montecito, throwing shade at his own family from the comfort of his multi-million-dollar mansion while cashing Netflix checks. But when it comes time to stand shoulder to shoulder with people who have real achievements, he crumbles faster than a stale crumpet. The irony is almost too delicious. The man who fled the royal family because he didn't want to be a sideshow has now become a living, breathing meme at high society events. The guy who demanded privacy only to publish a tell-all memoir titled Spare and do a Netflix docuseries about his private life is now so publicly fragile that one well-timed raspberry soup joke sends him sprinting for the exits. And honestly, at this point, you almost have to feel bad for him. Almost. Because the truth is, Harry's no victim here. He built this brand. He sold it. And now he has to live with the fact that people aren't buying it anymore. They're seeing through the smoke and mirrors. And people like Kurt Russell? now become a living, breathing meme at high society events. The guy who demanded privacy only to publish a tell-all memoir titled Spare and do a Netflix docuseries about his private life is now so publicly fragile that one well-timed raspberry soup joke sends him sprinting for the exits. And honestly, at this point, you almost have to feel bad for him. Almost.
No.
Because the truth is, Harry's no victim here.
He's not a victim.
He built this brand. He sold it.
He built this brand.
And now he has to live with the fact that people aren't buying it anymore. They're seeing through the smoke and mirrors. And people like Kurt Russell, they aren't afraid to call it out, with humor, with style, and with that old-school swagger you just can't fake. The Living Legends of Aviation event was supposed to be about celebrating greatness. Instead, it turned into a cautionary tale about what happens when you mistake fame for respect. When you think you can skip the hard work and just cash in on a name.
Say it.
Harry thought he could parachute into rooms like
cash in on a name and think that you were just going to be a billionaire. That's what she thought. She was going to cash in on the royal family, become a billionaire by making some jam. Instagram. She thought that she was going to be successful with Lemonado, Jam Scam, As Ever show. She thought. She's got too much going on. And none of it is sticking. None of it is saying success, 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 success. None of it is saying that. They brought this stuff on themselves. This is their brand. This is what they have come up with. Meghan, this is your brand. How you treat your father, how you treat Harry's family, how you treat your own family, how you treat people. You're a bully. You're a bully to your husband. You're being bullied, Harry. We know that. I can build a better brand with my sofa. Yeah, it's pathetic. It's pretty bad.
Like this and be treated like a legend. Turns out you have to earn that flight status, not just show up with a famous last name and a Netflix.
You can't just show up with a famous last name. You can't just show up with a famous last name, Harry. That's what Meghan was banking on, that they were going to show up with a famous last name and that they were going to be successful based on that alone. And that's why she was mistreating people and talking down on people and bullying people, because she felt empowered. I'm better than you. You want to be me. Attitude. No, no one wants to be your girlfriend. Take that to the bank. But this is what I do know. That she's come on a scene, made a fool out of herself, and becoming this As Ever brand, and then don't even have the jam to sell to the people that she's already sold to. It's become a big floppy do. A flop-a-do, unfortunately. All sizzle, no steak. Oh, that's funny.
Deal. And as Harry slunk back to Montecito, licking his wounds, the rest of the night took off in the best possible way. Real speeches, real stories, real heroes. No drama, no staged pity parties, no royal baggage weighing the whole night down. Just pure, unfiltered legends doing what they do best, inspiring the next generation. So here's to you, Kurt Russell, the real MVP of the night. The man who reminded everyone, with a smile and a savage joke, that real legends don't need crowns, sob stories, or staged documentaries. They just need the guts to show up, the talent to back it up, and the courage to call out the frauds when they see them.
Ooh.
And next year's Living Legends event, you better believe we'll all be watching, raspberry soup in hand, just in case lightning strikes twice.
Oh boy, Harry strikes again. The Living Legend of Aviation event on April 25th, held at the posh Beverly Hilton Hotel, was supposed to be a celebration of, well, legends. But it seems one legend couldn't handle the heat. Harry made his grand return for the second year in a row, only to last a grand total of 11 minutes before bolting. Word around the campfire. A little roast from Kurt Russell had the ginger prince running for the hills.
Oh, how
Now,
weird.
before anyone gets all defensive, let's just say this is all rumors, all right? But if it is true, you know Kurt's roast game is on fire.
Whoa.
Apparently, in front of a whole room of A-list celebrities, Kurt casually dropped this bomb. Unfortunately, living legend Harry has to leave early tonight. Who else will pick the berries for his wife's raspberry soup? Ooh, boy. That's a burn that even Harry's bald spot can't hide. Rumor has it the room went dead silent with a collective, "Oh," when Kurt made that comment, with several onlookers supposedly holding their breath, waiting for the fallout. One commenter even chimed in saying it was passive-aggressive, with a sharp intake of breath from a lot of people. Let's give a round of applause to Kurt, the unsung hero of the night. Because honestly, who doesn't feel a little bit of satisfaction watching someone like Harry get put in his place? He spent way too long playing the victim card and flexing his royalty, despite having absolutely no clue what being an actual royal is about.
Right.
It's like a bad Netflix series at this point, except it's his life. The Prince of Montecito, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else, reportedly had the expression of someone about to burst into tears. I mean, if the rumors are true, it's almost sad. But wait, there's more. Kurt didn't just stop there.
The rumors
Oh
are
no,
true.
he went all in. He didn't refer to Harry as Prince and just called him Living Legend Harry. Ouch. But it wasn't just the bald-headed prince getting roasted. The raspberry soup comment, that was just the cherry on top.
He called it soup. He called it soup. Why did he call it soup? Because it's watery? Huh? Oh, yeah, she's in the driver's seat. So, when Kirk said, sorry, I'm just now getting the joke. Soup, raspberry soup. He was joking. He was trying to say her raspberry jam ain't no good. It's a soup. I wonder, did his wife get a bottle? That has told me that she has failed. Guys, do you see it? Are you shocked? I'm just shocked because it's happening. And we're seeing it in real time. Yeah, we're seeing this in real time. Slop. Me, myself, and lies. Slop. She done messed up her whole reputation. Her whole career is in the toilet. Everything is in the toilet. She has no way of coming back from this. She has no way. The slop-a-doo.
If that's not a savage takedown, I don't know what is.
Soup.
So what did Harry do? He couldn't handle the heat and left immediately, reportedly slinking back to his little hideaway in Montecito. Wouldn't want to stick around to get roasted like a Thanksgiving turkey, right? But here's the thing. This wasn't just a personal vendetta. Oh no, Kurt's got style. As the man who's actually a real aviator, who's been licensed for decades and can actually fly without pretending, he probably found it more than a little amusing that Harry failed the pilot's exam 3 times.
Wow.
Let that sink in. The guy's not even qualified to fly a drone, let alone a plane. Can we get some real living legend vibes over here? And let's talk about John Travolta. Apparently there's some unresolved tension between him and Harry from last year's event, when Harry threw some shade at Travolta for dining off of his famous dance with Princess Diana. Travolta was visibly uncomfortable standing next to Harry this year. Who could blame him? The tension must have been palpable. The guy's probably thinking, I've been in Hollywood for decades and this is what I'm stuck with. Whether or not Kurt actually said it, I'm loving the idea. And if the footage ever comes out, it's going to be pure gold.
That was good. I was trying to see who this gentleman was.
Oh boy, Harry strikes again, and not in a way that'll be winning him any sympathy points.
It's called You.
The Living Legends of
Yes,
Aviation
Ollie.
event at the Beverly Hilton Hotel on April 25th was supposed to be a night for celebrating greatness, innovation, and, you know, actual achievements, legends, people who made history, set records, and inspired.
I am absolutely going to testify. I won't even say his name. He is an evil being, and it's going to pay. I think that I was just, living in this shame, living in all this sort of stuff of my past, and I wasn't able to move on. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
The courtroom fell silent as Diddy's composed facade suddenly cracked. His fists clenched, his jaw tightened.
Okay, we're not going backwards. I was just checking his channel out. His name, Just Holly is his name. So
I am absolutely going to.
Okay. Well, guys, I was having fun. You guys want to keep going? Let's go back here.
The data from the launch. You've sold 11 jars of jam. And by the way, I don't even think she can call it jam. I think it's called spread because she's been in so much.
It's called raspberry soup, according to Kurt Russell. Sounds like they are joking Hollywood. God, how do you gonna miss it? Sorry, I'm trying to get the mosquito. The mosquitoes. I have somebody come and spray. I'm gonna cancel it. It's costing too much. Can't afford it. Yeah, he called it raspberry soup. So that's what it is. Hello from Sydney. Hello, Lizzie. Hello, Flower Hill. Welcome. Hello, Media Markle. Thanks for hanging out, guys. She is awake. She needs to be sleepy, dude. She's out of school. Oh, snap.
Legal hot water over what she calls her companies, about the nature of her products, whether they're safe, what the category is. It's been a disaster from day one. But I've got to say that 8 weeks is quicker than I expected for this whole thing to collapse like a house of cards. So she wants to step back after 2 months.
Yep.
She wants to gather data from the launch. Well, you've got that data. You sold a couple of jars of jam. And she wants to figure out exactly what as ever could be. Well, if she wants to figure out what as ever could be, why didn't she do that in the first place? Why didn't she figure out what the product was going to be before she launched it?
Why didn't she figure out what it was before she launched it? Doesn't that make sense? Why didn't she figure out what as ever was supposed to be before she launched it under the jam and sprinkles and shortbread cookies and other stuff? She just wanted us to see her handwriting. You do be happy. Yeah. She doesn't have a brand. It doesn't exist. We've been waiting on it for decades. And here it is. This is the brand. A non-existing thing. Non-existing. She has failed. And like he said, why didn't you think about what you wanted to do before you launched? Why is it after? You have plenty of time to decide and figure out what you wanted to do with this as ever business before you launched it. You don't know what the hell you're doing. She doesn't. Megan doesn't know what she's doing. She's making up stuff. I went buy a saltine from her. Oh boy. It's a cracker. It's like a cracker, saltine cracker. It's shocking. Are you guys like, I'm in shock? Like sometimes it takes my brain a moment to register because I was shocked earlier when I was reading it. And she was talking about how she wanted to do other things and maybe go into clothing and stupid stuff. It's like, first, handle your business.
And the answer is because there is nothing substantial there. This was just a PR flex. This was about making noise. And it's very dangerous for Meghan Markle because what it means is that her announcements are subject to the law of diminishing returns.
It's almost like listening to the wolf cry wolf, like she's crying wolf. She's crying about she's got this platform, she's got this business, she's got all this stuff going on. Then when you get over here, there's nothing to see. You're like, well, that was nothing to see. That's over with. That happened. Yeah, I would check it for mode. It's fun. I'm having fun, guys. We are working it. We are. I am. Who is tripping off of this Meghan debacle scalpel? It's over for her. She doesn't have the jam anymore. She left the royal fold like an idiot. That was the biggest mistake. Oh, I'm leaving. We're going to leave. I'll be trying to make my way back. I'll be trying to make my way back. Let's get back. Crunchy hard toast. You forget it's in the toaster oven. Remote. Cha, Letitia. The chat is wild. Rolling Stone, what's up? We're slamming jam. She did. She totally buried herself. She messed up. You totally, now you look like a fool. You look like an idiot. You look like someone that can't be trusted. Her business is not trusted. You can't trust your money on it. You can't put your money on her. You can't put your money on Meghan because you'll lose your stock. She's bad stock. She's bad business. You wouldn't want to invest in her. I wouldn't. I'll ask the royal family to buy me a ticket home if I was Harry. Me too. I'm getting the hell out of here with this raspberry soup. She has made a fool out of him. Look how Mark Dillon has her over there in the corner looking like an idiot. Her shine is gone. Not that she ever had it.
Because with the next launch and the next launch and the next launch, there'll be less and less coverage. She's completely out to sea. She told the magazine that she may pivot into fashion. All right, so jam today, jam yesterday. She's moved on from that. There's no more honey, no more
jam yesterday. No more honey. It's gone. It's a done deal. She's not doing that anymore. She's moving on to fashion, knowing that she can't use as ever under fashion. She was told that's a big no-no. So why even veer towards that unless you're going to get a whole new name? You might as well. You got to relaunch anyway. You're going to launch again and launch again and launch and keep launching. She's just going to keep launching until something happens, until the light comes on. Leave in the middle of the night and type a getaway note. No, just no. Close. Take a seat. Sit down. Be still. Like Tiffany Haddish. Remember Tiffany Haddish? You guys know Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish had like something like a scandal going on back in the day. And Hollywood had pretty much kicked her out. But she's slowly coming back. She's slowly getting her footings and people forgiving her and moving on. That's what Meghan needs to go. She needs to go away for a while. But she doesn't know how. Now she's got this Instagram thing going on.
Beekeeping action, even though she's got the help of young Lily for that now, which is incredibly dangerous and highly inappropriate for a toddler. She said the category of fashion.
It was inappropriate and it is dangerous for a little girl to be around bees. What if the bee had got somewhere and stung her? She's too wicked. She's too wicked, Flower.
Is something that I will explore at a later date, because I do think that's an interesting space for me. That's an interesting space for me. This is so amateurish. If you're going to launch a fashion brand, you've got to do years and years and years in what they call the rag trade here in the UK. You've got to learn about fabrics and about materials and about stitching and about form and about shape and about style and the history.
You can't just start jumping into stuff because you think you might be good at it. Just like what he just said. You got to know the fabric. You got to know what stitch and what yarn and all this other stuff to use and what's great and what's not. The material, what's going to look good, what is not going to look good. Fashion made like clothes. Like she's doing everything on her bucket list that she wanted to do, but not that it doesn't mean that she's going to be successful in it. She just wanted to try it. And since Harry's her husband, he letting her keep trying it until they run out of money. Because the jam didn't stick. No. And so now they're moving on to fashion, which she knows nothing about. She's wrinkled all the time. Wrinkled, dinkled. She should have stayed in her lane and on the side of the road. Yeah, this is a mess. A mess, a mess, a mess. Meghan is a mess. How in the world are you going to launch something and then unlaunch it 2 months later? And Anna Winters, she won't get tips off of Anna Winters. She probably wants to be an Anna Winters. She wants to be her. She wants to be on the cover of Vogue. And Serena was going to be on the cover of Vogue at this time. Let's see what else he has to say.
Of fashion. You could devote 2 decades of your life to.
He said you could take 2 decades of your life doing fashion and you still will not be successful. I really do believe that. Mark Dillon.
A fashion brand and still fail. But Meghan thinks, all right, well, I've made a couple of pots of jam. I've made some honey. I've got these flour sprinkles. By the way, who ever heard of sprinkling flowers onto food? That is hazardous in the extreme. I wouldn't do it. I'd be worried what was in those petals, potentially hallucinogenic, might make me crazy. Maybe that's the problem with Meghan. She's eaten too many of those flour sprinkles, and it's made her a completely useless entrepreneur. So this new merchandise range may come in 2026. It may. I mean, do you not feel like you've been had? I'm embarrassed that we've even talked about it. Although luckily the Mark Dolan show called out this madness many weeks ago. We said there was no substance. We said that the products looked horrible and that they were not sold out. Well, now the whole thing is gone. I just didn't expect it to be this quick. We have.
He said it's gone. I didn't expect it to be this quick. Neither did I, Mark. I had no idea that we were going to be here this soon, this fast with her. At failure at the beginning. She has failed at the front. You can't put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. I like that. I'm going to read some of your comments back, guys. Anna Winter would have let her get her a coffee. Probably wouldn't even let her do that. Get away from me. Leave me alone. Will she try vitamins as well? I don't know. She don't need to try anything because she has failed at this jam thing. She has messed up. She has made herself look like the biggest idiot there is. How are you going to have a business and then quit selling the product 2 months after you launch? That's stupid. How many effing rebrands is it now? This effing grifters are laughing stock. How it's so many. It's so many launches. I didn't lost count. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. He's hilarious. Hello, Jan. MM needs to stop wasting Prince Harry's money and go sit down. Now the perfect time for Cassie to quietly pay her off to sleek off into the night as a wealthy divorcee. Her Hollywood dream should be dead now. Do you think they would be over with? But she's 40-something, still believing in the A-list world, still believing in making it. And she is desperate. She is so desperate. Guys, look how desperate she is. Jam as ever. The cooking show, Lemonado, Instagram. I mean, how low can you go? How low can you go? How low can you go? She's gone. She's gone to the bottom. Girl, Meghan, you have really messed up, girlfriend. You have really made yourself look like an idiot. It's a shame. And then she's in denial. She's in this denialness that she needs to come out of.
Had wildflower honey with honeycomb for $28. Even Bill Gates wouldn't waste his money on that. The edible flower sprinkles were $15. The jam was about $15. Utter madness. There was never any interest in this stuff. And now she might go for a bit of fashion if she fancies it. It's really deluded. So many believe.
Them cookies was how much? Was they $28, the cookies? Oh, God, the cookies look hideous. And then the sprinkles in the can. Everything just looked weird, Meghan. And he said, now she's talking about fashion. It would take her 2 decades to get to know what the hell she's doing in fashion. You got to go to school for that. You got to be educated. You don't know what the hell you're doing in fashion. We see that by the clothes you put on. She was trying to sell her clothes on her website. It's so cheap. Where is it? Sign up. I don't think so. Okay, so is this out of order? Sold out. It's still sold out. Get notified. I don't think so. Look at these cookies. They do not look good at all. They're $14. They look a little bit bigger here than they do on the picture. Wow, she should have used this picture for that. And get them sprinkles. Look at the sprinkles. Are you guys seeing this? Look at the sprinkles. Okay, so the ginger tea is $12. It's sold out. As ever, the sprinkles is sold out. The shortbread cookies, it's sold out. It's $14. Raspberry spread and keepsake package, sold out. Everything is sold out. That's impossible. I don't think she had some of these products. Sold out, sold out, sold out. I am not doing that. Where she has this. Yeah, Megan. That's it. We use cookies and other tracking technologies to enhance the user's experience in our website for analytics. Girl, let's get back over here.
That the business was in trouble from the start, and this idea that they were sold out, the products were sold out, is completely for the birds, and that actually Meghan was not listening to the people around her when launching this company. Well, I'm sure that's true, because this is as bad as American Riviera Orchard, which was her previous brand, which was caught up in lots and lots of legal issues too, including copyright, as well as Duff products, which in the end were never launched. So she said the easiest thing to do would have been to simply restock the products, which would likely sell out very quickly again. Well, that's what companies do. The easiest thing for companies to do is to sell their product. But Meghan, you've got no product. And if you had 10,000 jars of your fruit spread, it wouldn't sell because it is a dud. She said, I really want to focus on the hospitality angle of As Ever as we take the learnings. Now, what does that mean? As we take the learnings, this is a word salad again, isn't it? It's gobbledygook. Why does Meghan speak in this strange diction? Why do we have this hocus pocus of nonsense from Meghan lyrically? Well, it's because there's nothing there. There's no depth to it. She's a fake, and she talks gobbledygook because she's trying to disguise the fact that she is an empty shell, a hollowed out shell of a human being with no ideas, no talent, no originality. It's just nothing. It is built on nothing. She was a TV host that can't host TV shows. Gobbledygook, because she's trying to disguise the fact that she is an empty shell, a hollowed out shell of a human being with no ideas, no talent, no originality. It's just nothing. It is built on nothing. She was a TV host that can't host TV shows. She was a chef that can't cook. She was an actress that can't act. And she was a princess that was incapable of being a princess. I'm afraid that Meghan just can't do it. And the problem she's got with As Ever is this is a very public failure. And we've got lots of people watching in America on this show. And the Americans, they don't like failure. They only like success. And they follow success. And there's nothing heroic about being unsuccessful in the United States, which is why the couple are on the slippery slope, because we know that Harry's not busy either.
No.
He's lost his charity Sentibale amid bullying allegations. Spotify don't want his terrible ideas for shows. He's been frozen out of Meghan's Netflix deal because, you know, Meghan is pretty close to Netflix. And we've got 8 more of her shows with Love Meghan coming along. And there will be more shows after that because, to be fair to her, she does make noise. And I think in the world of commerce and jam making, it's a problem because you need some products. But actually, in the fluffy world of TV and entertainment, that kind of PR nonsense sells. Noise is everything. And Meghan is good at that. So that's probably why Netflix is the best fit for her for the foreseeable future. Harry, completely frozen out of the Netflix project. He's not even, according to my insiders, he doesn't even feature in season 2 of With Love Meghan, even though it's shot in their allegedly own home. Of course, it's not their own home. It's an $11 million mansion, which is half the value of theirs in Montecito. So she's on board with Meghan. By the way, she said, oh, I have a partner. I was going to do it all by myself, but took a complete U-turn because I really believe in what Netflix are doing. Well, isn't that nice of you? Isn't that nice of you to pay Netflix a compliment, a multi-billion-dollar streaming giant? I'm sure they'll be so happy with your approbation. She said, when you have only yourself to answer, it can be incredibly liberating or it can be incredibly lonely. Only the lonely. She's lonely now and she is exposed. So the original brand was American Riviera Orchard, which was rejected for trademark by the US Patent Office because she and the people around her do not know what they are doing. She later dismissed the original name as a word salad, scrapped the project. Now we've got As Ever, which is another flop, and she's scrapping that. And she said, and I think this is very telling in this interview, she talked about her resume, which here in the UK we would call a curriculum vitae, right? Your career history. She said, if I had to write a resume, I don't know what I would call myself. Well, we don't either. No one knows what you're for, Meghan, other than being famous and getting what you want. That is what Meghan is famous for. But by the way, she does not stick with anything, does she?
No.
She barely managed 2 years as a serving royal.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about you. I could easily be a princess for 5-6 years before I got tired of it.
Yeah.
People making you a cup of tea. I wouldn't have to go and brew my own decaf, would I? People ironing your newspapers, putting the toothpaste onto the toothbrush. I could quite comfortably be a princess I could do a decade as a princess, having people choosing my dresses. Happy days. But she didn't manage 2 years because she doesn't stick with anything. No. And actually, she throws away projects nearly as quickly as she throws away family.
She doesn't stick with anything. I know we've been talking about that, but just think about it. If you always changing something, you'll never know if it's going to be successful or not because you keep changing it. She keeps changing and changing and changing, changing and changing and changing to the point where our head is spinning. Where we going now, Megan? Where we going now? Where we going now? Nowhere. Failure. I hate to say that word because it's such an ugly word.
Family members like her half siblings and poor old Thomas Markle. She said, none of us are one note, but I believe all the notes I'm playing are part of the same song. Help, please. What is this fresh hell? Someone make it stop. Let me just repeat that sentence. None of us are one note, but I believe all the notes I'm playing are part of the same song. This is carnage, folks. This is affecting my mental health, I've got to say. I've been so focused on the As Ever brand for 8 weeks, waiting for the flower sprinkles to become available again so I can alter my mindset with those chunky flower sprinkles. And now they're unavailable forever. She may not restock until 2026. Wait a minute. Until 2026. It's May 2025. That's May. Half a year.
It's a half a year.
Where's she getting these flower sprinkles from? and the honey and the jam. How long does it take to make jam? A few hours. Quite extraordinary. So she said, none of us are one note, but I believe all the notes I'm playing are part of the same song.
Yes.
I'm afraid that the narcissism in that sentence is off the charts. The narcissism meter has just blown up.
Yeah. Yeah.
None of us are one note, but I believe all the notes I'm playing are part of the same song. This is what an indulgent character she is, and how deluded. I mean, she's quite crazy. She is quite crazy. If she thinks that she's on some wonderful magical journey and she's going to take stock and as ever is.
He said it. He said she is quite crazy. She is quite not all the way working up there. Because she's going to take stock over what she did with the jam. What stock? What moment? You had a moment with some jam. You had a moment with some jam. It is flour. It's a shame. Yes, he is funny.
Is going to come back stronger, even though it just limped to 8 weeks. By the way, no products available for the last 2 months. So you could argue that As Ever lasted 45 minutes.
45
It might be the shortest lived business in the history of capitalism.
He said the shortest lived business in capitalism. 45 seconds. That's how long it lasted. If you want to think in terms of her selling out and not having any more products. 0. Ain't no more. All gone. Yeah. Her business was open 45 seconds. And that's how long they were open. 45 minutes. It might as well be seconds.
The 45-minute business, folks. Because since those jars of jam miraculously sold out after 45 minutes, we've had no product since. If this was a successful operation, you would have more products a couple of days later, and that would sell out.
Yes.
And that's what a great business looks like. So Meghan described all of this in the interview that she had with Fast Business, and it's quite shocking. It's quite humiliating. So now she's fallen back on talking about Archie and Lily as a distraction tactic. The business empire is crumbling. We'll go back to her day job as a mom. She said, she talked about Archie. She was Archie's tooth fairy. Isn't that nice? She said, I had a lot of business meetings at the time, but I still chose to cuddle with Archie the rest of the night when his tooth fell out. She said, those mum moments energized me to be a better founder, a better employer, and a better boss. Well, she'd need to be a better founder because this business lasted 45 minutes and it's now effectively closed down. With no new products until next year when she's decided what she might do. She's suddenly going to be Giorgio Armani or Calvin Klein overnight, apparently. And she said that these mum moments, being the tooth fairy, make her a better founder, a better employer, a better boss. Well, she'd need to be better because she has reportedly got through 18 staff members in 5 years.
Wow.
And was investigated by Buckingham Palace for her allegedly bullying behavior towards palace employees, towards the courtiers who are not on big money and who were allegedly rather abused by Duchess Difficult, which is the nickname she got when she was at the palace. So what about that, by the way? Those moments those mum moments energize me. Well, those mum moments that you talk about to a magazine. By the way, why do you tell a magazine? Why can't you just be a great mum? Why does it have to be reported by journalists and publicized on digital platforms? Can't you just be a great mum? That's the thing about Megs. It's all talk. And these mum moments, right? There's nothing to be proud of. That's her job. You are a mother. It is your job to have mum moments, just like it's my job to have dad moments as a father to my two sons, Elton and Bernie, and to Mrs. Dolan to have the husband moments. But Meghan likes to celebrate even the most basic achievements in her life. She also said, it's very interesting on her most recent podcast, the last episode, mercifully, of Confessions of a Female Founder. Will there be another series? I doubt it. I think that's another one that has gone to the scrap heap. Confessions of a Female Founder. She says there's a misconception that you need to go to Harvard Business School. Well, I think, Meghan, that you do. I think that's what you should have done, is gone to Harvard Business School and not Northwestern, where you prance around in tights, pretending to be an artiste and an actress and a singer and a dancer and all the rest of it. Why didn't you get a real education? Go to Harvard Business School and learn the ropes. And what they will tell you is that you don't close down your business after 45 minutes. Because that would never happen at Harvard Business School, who actually know what they're talking about. She also said so many women especially are taught not to talk about money and to feel bad if they have money. She said that in the podcast. Well, Meghan's not afraid of talking about money, and she's not afraid of earning it, is she? Because what are the things that motivate Meghan?
Money.
Well, fame, power, ego, and money. Those are the things that motivate Meghan. So she's not interested in running a business and having a great product line.
No.
She's not interested in being a great wife.
No.
She's not interested in being a princess.
No.
She's not interested in acting. I mean, she's given up the acting. Why doesn't she go back to acting, by the way?
She's not interested in being a good wife. She's not interested in being a good a good boss. She's not interested in being a good founder. She just wants the outer look of what it looks like to be successful. See, I created my business. Now I'm done with it. I was able to do that, check. No, that's not success. Success is longevity. Doing it, doing the work, getting it done. She is so off. So off. Bye-bye, Lizzie. Have a great one. This was so fun. Anyway, let's get back to it.
She's in California. She's in Montecito. Her neighbor is Gwyneth Paltrow. She could call Gwyn. She could WhatsApp Gwyn. Okay, or maybe call her using the WhatsApp thing because it's free, isn't it? Save some money, right? Call Gwyn on WhatsApp. FaceTime her maybe. And you say, hey, Gwynny, you're very connected in Hollywood. You've got, I think, has Gwyneth got 2 Oscars? She's got at least 1. Definitely got an Oscar, maybe 2, Gwyneth. She's a decorated Hollywood star. And she could easily get a walk-on part in one of Gwyneth's next movies. Wouldn't that be amusing?
Ooh.
If Meghan had to be a background artiste just to get a gig, just to get a break again. So she could be in the Marvel movie and Gwyneth Paltrow is like slaying some, you know, crazy robot. You probably can tell I don't watch the Marvel movies. The superhero, she's battling, she's having a sword fight with Captain America. Okay. And Meghan's a background artist. Just like in you know, she's like a sort of coffee drinker number 2, just in the background sipping a coffee, just going, hi, it's Meghan. I'm back as a background artiste. Ooh, did I tell you about my husband, H? I call him H. His real name's Harry. It would be a great thing. I'd love to see her in a B movie. But why doesn't she go back to acting? Because she doesn't see anything through. She doesn't see through the royal role. She doesn't see through the acting. She doesn't see through the business empire. She won't see through the podcast, which I believe will go. And I've got to tell you, and I say this with no pleasure whatsoever, she will not see the marriage through either.
Right.
And it's quite clear why, because she will get tired of Harry, who's a very
Yep.
grumpy man, the world's least happy millionaire. Humpy dumpy dumpy dump. And they've got very big problems.
Yes.
Because Prince Harry and Meghan Markle spent Memorial Day weekend apart. Now, that is a lovely bank holiday in the United States. So a bank holiday, like a public holiday, we call it bank holiday in the UK. And that's a lovely time for the family to be together for Memorial Day weekend. And your family over, have a barbecue, a couple of drinks, all is good with the world. You know, people have switched their phones off. There's no business being done. It's a lovely moment to take a pause, enjoy time with the kids, and enjoy being husband and wife. So what does Harry do? He goes to China on his own without Meghan. And as we mentioned in yesterday's video, he upset King Charles by flying to China when King Charles goes to Canada. So King Charles got this very important trip to Canada in which he's got to save Canada from being sold to the United States, which is a thing. And so therefore,
It is
very
a
important
thing.
constitutional role that King Charles has at this moment in time.
Is that why he's over there? Because they're trying to, you know what I'm trying to say? Trying to get Canada to be one of our states. Well, guys, listen, I've had a wonderful evening. Let's go over some of your comments and my super chat from Susan. Wonderful. Tropical Life. Cassie was only pleasurable entertainment and eye candy for him. That's right. Diddy. Susan. Great lives, Letitia. Thank you, Susan, so much for my super chat. Susan, she was at the top, had the world at her fingertips, threw it all away. Pop a crown at Susan. Catherine should tell her to shut up and sit down. When Hollywood royalty tells you to check your woman, it's bad. Yes, it is. Be happy. I can build a better brand for my sofa. Be happy. Again, Meg in the driver's seat. Yes. Be happy. I wouldn't buy a saltine from her, meaning a cracker. Leave in the middle of the night. Type a getaway. Be happy. Flower. You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Jean, I wonder if Netflix will really release season 2 after this, or will they let this humiliation train end already? How cruel is it to isolate those kids from all family members? That's right, Flower. All right, guys, I am tired. I'm going to bed. It's late. Thank you for my mods. Thank you for my subscribers. Thank you for my members. Thank you for hanging out with me and having fun. Sun. Thank you guys so much. This is me without makeup. I'm gonna go to Betty Bye. Thank you guys so much for your love, your support. Really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And just to recap what we talked about is Meghan failing at her Jam Scamathon. That's the thing to remember. That's pretty big to me. It lasted 45 minutes. 45 minutes and it was over. Relationship is over. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. Love you guys.